What's up, friends, and welcome to a new video here on the official MTG Arena YouTube channel. My name is Ashlizzlle, and if there's one thing you have to know about me is that I love Sacrifice decks. And today I have a brand new Sacrifice deck lined up for you, Orzhov Sacrifice, with a ton of new cards from Bloomburrow in there. So let's have a look at what we're working with. Okay, so probably the greatest addition to this deck from Bloomburrow has to be the Rottenmouth Viper. This is a 6 mana, 6/6 elemental snake creature. And as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of non-land permanents. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrificed this way. And whenever the Rottenmouth Viper enters or attacks, you put a blight counter on it. And then for each blight counter on it, each opponent loses 4 life unless a player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So we try to, in this deck, we try to run the Rottenmouth Viper out as fast as we can, depending on the matchup, because you don't want to sacrifice all your permanents and then have your creature be removed. But we can get this Rottenmouth Viper out as fast as turn 3 in this deck, and that is made possible by just a bunch of creatures or permanents that drop an additional permanent with them. So a great example of that would be something like Novice Inspector. This is a 1 mana 1/2 creature, and when it enters the battlefield, you investigate. So that basically means 2 permanents for the price of 1. And that is exactly what the Rottenmouth Viper wants to see if you want to run this card out on turn 3. Another great example of that is the Spiteful Hexmage. This is a 1 mana 3/2. When it enters, you create a Cursed Roll token attached to it. So you could sacrifice the Cursed Roll token and the Hexmage to the Rottenmouth Viper. The Witch's Vanity is another really sweet card. This is a 2 mana enchantment saga, with the first chapter being destroy target creature and opponent controls with mana value 2 or less. The second chapter create a food token, and the third chapter create a Wicked Roll. So this card could leave behind a food and a Wicked Roll, or you could sacrifice the enchantment to it as well. You kind of get the idea at this point, right? So a bunch of permanents, also the Hopeless Nightmares and the Tithing Blades in here, which are incredibly valuable in this meta. And then you could second to the Rottenmouth Viper. But if you don't have the Viper, you could also sacrifice them. The Braids, Arisen Nightmare, probably my favorite card in the entirety of Standard right now. This is a 3 mana 3/3 legendary creature Nightmare. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. And for each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. So if you have these, so to say, not as common things laying around, permanents laying around, enchantments that people don't really want to sacrifice, they make a fantastic target to Braids, because then you can draw a card and your opponent loses 2 life. So Braids also really benefits from all these permanents that get left behind on the battlefield, just like the Rottenmouth Viper does. And you know who also benefits from that? The Nurturing Pixie. Also one of my favorite cards from the past couple of sets. It's a 1 mana 1/1 fairy rogue with flying, and when it enters, you return up to 1 target non-fairy, non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If a permanent was returned this way, you put a 1/1 counter on Nurturing Pixie. So if we run out the Hopeless Nightmare, which when it enters, the opponent has to discard a card and lose 2 life, or if you run out the Tithing Blade, 2 mana, when it enters, opponent sacrifices creature, you can pick them back up with a Pixie and replay them. Bandit's Talent is also really good for that reason in this deck. There are some discard synergies, like I said, from the Nightmare and the Bandit's Talent in here too. And the Bandit's Talent is a new card from Bloomburrow as well. And when it enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. So opponent has to basically discard a non-land card. But then you can also pay for the level 2, and that basically drains your opponent for 2 life if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand. It also makes a fantastic, target to pick up with the Nurturing Pixie, or sacrifice if you have nothing to do with it. And speaking of sacrificing, of course, we cannot leave these permanents in the graveyard. No, that's where Zoraline Cosmos Collar comes in play, our 3 mana 3/3 Bat Cleric from Bloomburrow, with flying and vigilance, and whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life, which is not really relevant in this deck. But the other ability, whenever Zoraline enters or attacks, you may pay a white and a black and 2 life. When you do, you return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. That's what we care about, because if we sacrifice these permanents to Braids or Rottenmouth Viper, or something gets removed, Zoraline can bring it back. And that is just so much value, especially if somebody removes your Braids because she applies too much pressure. You can be well, I'll pay 2 and get it back with Zoraline, and that is just awesome. Yeah, I really am a great fan of this deck. It's felt incredible when I played it on the best of 1 ladder. And also speaking of something new, the Fountain Port, super good in this deck as well. I would almost say that this land is better than Mirax in the right deck, or just on average probably. But the Fountain Port is a new land from Bloomburrow, and for 2 mana you can draw a card if you sacrifice a token. So good in this deck. You could sacrifice the Cursed Roll tokens, or you could sacrifice any other token, like food tokens, for instance, that the Witch's Vanity creates. Or you can pay the 3 mana and tap it and pay 1 life and create a fish, and then you have a new sacrifice target. Super valuable in this deck. Absolutely big fan of this Orzhov Sacrifice shell here. Alright, so now that you know how the deck works, it's time to get into some sweet gameplay. But before we get started here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the official MTG Arena YouTube channel. There's a bunch of other really cool creators on here that will bring you the greatest like Bloomburrow brews. So definitely make sure to subscribe. And if you want to see some more of my own stuff, you can check that out over on youtube.com/Ashlizzlle, where I post daily MTG Arena brews. And with all that being said, it's time to sacrifice some permanents and apply a ton of pressure on our opponents in this Orzhov Sacrifice deck in Bloomburrow Standard. Let's go. Okay. This looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. We're looking for our beloved snake at some point, but I don't mind this at all. Swamp. Let's start off strong with a Hopeless Nightmare. It's really where we're seeing like the discard side of this deck a little bit. Okay. It's fun that it has like both sacrifice, like they're just working together nicely in harmony. Opponent on the mono black discard. Sure. Let's match them. Everybody's just discarding everything right now. Fun times. Another one. Okay, we're doing this. Probably not gonna get a whole lot of value out of the Witch's Vanity. What a game, but they have 2 Bandit's Talents, so that's not fair. That's not fair, dude. This is not fair. I guess I'll play the Fortress out. Like, I could hold up Anoint, but pretty sure I'm supposed to be discarding something soon. Zorleen! Girl boss. Yeah, I really don't want to take like 4 damage a turn. I gotta be real with you, so... yeah. I'm kind of like inclined to... but I do want to get Bandit's Talent to like the 4th level, or the 3rd level, I would say, for 4 mana at some point, so... I don't know. It's weird. Alright, removed. Zorleen has returned. I wish I could, like, pay for her and get her back. That'd be nice. It's a weird matchup, this. Just gotta be, like, super, like, balanced about what we're doing. This blade is awesome, though. Okay, so let's bring back our Novice Inspector. Draw some more cards. It's really, like, crucial that our... okay, nice. Got out of that one. I was gonna say, like, it's really crucial that our, like, cards... we have cards. We don't want to take 4 a turn, but we got out of that. That's great. Well... I don't think I want to keep this one-lander. Okay. We got the Vipers. We got the Snakes. The hand outside of that doesn't look fantastic, though, but... Mold 4, or Mold 5, I believe. I mean, sounds even worse. Why are there 205 cards in my opponent's deck? Okay. Always, like, a mystery. You never know what you're gonna run into. In, the adventurous land of best of 1. I'm usually a best of 3 player for the people that might not be aware of that. But for these videos, I like to do best of 1 because I believe that most of the people that watch this channel enjoy best of 1. Let me know in the comments if you're a best of 3 enjoyer. Because I can definitely play some more like best of 3 decks. But yeah. Always in like such a different vibe. Whenever you go from the hellscape of best of 3 into the 200 and however many card piles that you can find in the beautiful landscape of standard best of 1. Alright. Look at this Viper. It's gonna be nice and it's gonna be discounted. And then Zorleen could bring it back. Gotta figure out what we're playing against, though. That's going to be the challenge. Alright, I'm swinging. And I am gonna... the Viper out here, sacrifice this, and the Novice Inspector. Alright, it's Viper time. Not countered. We love to see it. I mean, then again, in like how many cards the opponent has, it'd be wild to say. I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this. Esper pile. Expect the unexpected? Okay. There you go. We had to expect the unexpected. But we get braids, which is perfect. You can sacrifice the clue. They can join us, but they have to get rid of that thing. And then Zorleen can, like, reanimate. Probably Spiteful Hexmage. I wish we had some, like, other... like, some enchantments or something, you know? So we could sacrifice that instead and be guaranteed hit. Laid. Alright, I'm gonna start off with a swing. Keep him guessing. Okay. Zorleen. And upon entering, we can pay... and bring something back. I love Zorleen. I don't think you understand. I love Zorleen. There's also a consideration for just Novice Inspector and sacrifice a creature, low-key. Maybe I'll do that. I'll bring it back and sack the Novice Inspector instead. Because the opponent cannot, like... they can't sack a creature, so... Take 2, we draw a card. Nice. We also have, like, the Restless Fortress that's, like, pressuring them. Looking good. Okay. We had a Restless Fortress to pressure them. I guess the opponent could sacrifice... they have to sacrifice their treasure to put a 2-2 in play. This is a tricky one. Because if I give it to the Restless Fortress, I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose our land. They do have land destruction though, but I want to force them out to like do that, hold mana up for doing that, you know? Oh, this is tricky. So they could do that, but this would be a good attacker though, but I could also always block with their own fortress still. I think I shove it on the Hexmage. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe I can find a way to get it off. That'd be nice. Okay, what does this blade do for us? Remove this. Okay. Alright, how about we do this? We're gonna transform the blade. New plan. I'll just get rid of Snake. I could reanimate the Snake. The opponent can still attack with their own manland though and like gain some life. Yeah, I'm not attacking here. They can block it. Just gotta find a little bit more pressure here somewhere. Let's grab a Plains. Like a Hopeless Nightmare, which is win a gameless spot. We have 2 of those left in the deck. Bandit's Talent would do a lot of work too. It's close. Opponent will have a lot of answers. We know that. Yeah, they have to do that to stay alive. Okay. Go for it, bestie. They lose one life. Okay, we got Pixie Army. Let me spend some mana to draw first. I could get like... ooh, fish. Actually, that takes off the Cursed Roll token. Very nicely, actually. Which is why I love Fountain Port. It's such a fantastic, fantastic card. It takes it off for 2. I'm just gonna run it back still. I can also just pick up this, but then if I draw a card off it, I'm pretty happy though. But I can also make a fish. Just make a fish, I guess. Okay. The synergy! I love it. The synergy! Okay. They did that. Sunfall! Okay. Sure, it's gonna be a long one. Get a fish. Or not! Ah! we love a good soul deck. Let's go. Easy peasy. I was like, oh god, this game could go on for like another half an hour at this rate. We're good. Shout out to the Hopeless Nightmare. Because that would have been bad. Okay, oh, we have the like the good Pixie Nightmare start. Or like Pixie Witch's Vanity, depending on what we're up against. Let's keep that. Ooh, Tranquil Cove. I love these sleeves. Sir Ginger has my heart. Blue whites. Have a feeling these Witch's Vanities are not going to get a whole lot of value. Not a whole lot, I believe. It's unfortunate you can get like a whole lot of value when you're not playing against aggro out of those, but when you hit aggro, they're great. They're still doing like a thing or two for the Viper anyways, leaving behind like a food token and a roll token, but we don't have the Viper either, so... We'll see. Don't be shy, opponent. Play a creature. Ah, that's great. That's a good draw. Also, we still have braids. That's also nice. I'm sure they're like packed with interaction. Ha ha ha. Oh, a bird? Oh shit. Oh. I like every time I see birds I get excited, sorry. I just really love birds. They would trade that? I believe they would. I'll go in with braids. I think there's good value in sacrificing the Hopeless Nightmare right now. I'll take land. The curse like roll tokens are also super nice with braids. Okay. I'll start off with a braid swing. You have another burb? No burb. Let me see that this taps right. Fountain Port can be a little bit awkward sometimes with like how it taps itself, so just be aware of that as you're like playing deck, because I have had many awkward moments that almost became game losses because the auto tapper decided to hold up Fountain Port. It was not great. Okay, so we're getting a blade moment here. I will take that. Great answer so far. Yeah, I feel like this is way too valuable for me. I'll get rid of the blade, though. Nice. Get a land. Okay. Shadowy Backstreet, see what we can surveil. Yup. Yup. The greatest thing is that I can actually attack with my creature now. Like, normally I'd be like, oh my god, what if One Ring Emperor? Shout out to Rotation. I am so happy. I kind of want the Bandit's Talent on top instead. Braids is really good. Yeah, I have to keep braids. I have to keep braids. Too good not to do. I also have the Fountain Port to take off the Curse token for the Hex Mage. So I'm still doing something. Okay. Should I just play a Witch's Vanity out? Honestly, sure. No more Farewell Eater. Haha. I love Rotation. I don't think you're gonna have anything that's gonna get hit by the Witch's Vanity. Nice. When these like Bandit's Talents start like stacking. Bonus by playing a blue-white flash stack. That's really nice. Love that. Love that. Create a food. Okay, we'll play the blade out. God, we're just like so in control of this game. There's just nothing they're gonna be able to do. I think I would take playing braids out over dealing like an extra 2 damage. I can just do this and then sacrifice the curse roll. Look at all these permanents we can sacrifice the braids. Wow, this deck is great at best of 1. I mean, I played it in like best of 3 quite a bit too. But best of 3 can sometimes be like a little, you know, awkward with a lot of hate. But we're absolutely slaying in best of 1. Oh, wow. Okay, we're on the draw. 2 novice inspectors of braids. It's keepable. We have some interaction here. I feel like always the second you see somebody like high ranked, you just know that they're playing aggro. It's a snake. Nice. This is where I would love to see some Witch's Vanities. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. But if this opponent just has a fantastic hand, we could just be dead in like 2 turns. The joys. Yeah, that's like super baity. Thanks, I hate it. I will try, I guess. I'll try. Like, buff up the Cacophony Scamp. I will eventually get it to Legion to Ashes. Or my Anointed Affliction. I believe I have 1 in here. Yeah, I have to play the... Because I wanna... If I wanna, like, cast this on curve. Uh-oh, losing a coin flip against buff up my creatures and kill you on turn 3 is, not the most comfortable position to ever be in, you know? It sure isn't. I don't know. I guess I will try again? Don't rage me. Okay, that doesn't give a trample though, does it? Look at that. Okay. Dude, I'm in trouble. Oh no. Yeah. Either we should have like won the coin flip or we should have found some Witch's Vanities. I don't know, we're still at 12 live. I'm not sure, but like they can buff that up again and like throw it again. Or throw it if they want to. Trouble in Paradise. Come on now. Zorleen? No. This is tricky. I would have liked to cast a Viper, but I needed a land for that. Yeah, like the Bandit's Talents, we needed the Witch's Vanity. But we drew all our Bandit's Talents instead. Kinda awkward. Okay, well, it was nice knowing you guys. It's probably over for me here. Unless they really don't have... That does not look like a good sign for me. Sheesh, yeah. Yep. I don't know, maybe it would have been a different game if we won the coin flip. I'm not sure, but yeah, just did not draw the right cards here. It's okay. That's the game of best of 1, I'm afraid. Alright, so I already kept this hand here. The opponent, like, basically roped me for 2 minutes there to decide their opening hand, so... Cutting to this moment right here. Okay, well that's gonna grab my Hex Mage, I'm sure. Please don't. Oh, it grabbed my blade. Oh, I'm not mad at that. Ooh, this is really... The Novice Inspector over the top there is huge. Oh, we love to see it. That's 2 mana Rottenmouth Viper. All according to plan. I mean, the problem is, though, that, like, running it out is pretty dangerous because if your opponent has interaction, you've lost your whole board, so... Not sure if it's going to be correct to run this guy out. But, ooh, that does change things. Because I can run it out for 1 mana and keep some permanents now. What a perfect top deck, wow. Alright, friends. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little scary. But turn 3 Viper, let's go. And now you just have to absolutely like pray for its its survival. Yeah, ideally, I think you run this guy on like turn 4 or something. Maybe later than that, once you've like forced your opponent to like use some removal. But bless RNG. I'm hoping that the Viper lives. Live, my snake! I have a bad feeling about it. They're like hovering over their hand, looking at the Viper. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. I can live with that. Oh, I can live with that. Don't worry about it. Nice. That would give us back our blade. I will take that. All right. The snake lives and is going to swing for 6 and is going to like pressure our opponent to like discard 2 cards or take a damage or a combination of the both. 4 and a card. Oh, I really hope they can't answer this. Whoa. Okay. They just took 4. Oh, no, wait. They took 4 and discarded an Ashlizzlle. Okay. I was honestly thinking they might be like discarding 2, but we'll see what their hand holds. Good game? One time? No way. Turn 3 snake gets it done. Ah, oh, that's nice. Oh, we'd love to see it.